If I could talk to the younger me back in 1988, 89, I would have told me to not sign that contract with Chillin because they gonna get you. I didn't know what publishing was. I had no concept of what that was. I just knew that I wanted my advance to be the same advance that Big Daddy Kane got. And what I didn't know was that they're like, okay, you're gonna get that money, but we're gonna creatively put in the contract that part of that money is you selling us your publishing. And I just would have told my younger self to pump your brakes, figure out what's going on here before you sign it, because I think I would have been better off in the long run. Well, my fucking moment happened in 1997, 98, right in there. I had left Delicious Vinyl on the West Coast, and I came back and signed with Big Beat Records on the East Coast. So I was back home. Atlantic was the distributor. I started immediately working on a new record. This would have been the record that would have followed Sitting on Chrome. Went in the studio, started putting together songs. I wound up creating, I don't know, maybe 16, 17 songs. Had a meeting with the label to play the music that I had. And they were like, well, you know, this ain't really like sounding like radio stuff to us. We feel like you should get, you know, Changing Faces or Carl Thomas or Brian McKnight to come in and sing, you know, a little something. And I was like, that's not really what I want to do, but I do want to keep my deal, so I'm going to try. So I reached out to a few people. Nothing really happened. I came back to them. I was like, I'm not really feeling that idea. I think I want to stick with kind of the direction I'm going in. And they decided to drop me and shelf the record. And for the next 2 years, I was just in the pits, like, fuck the industry, not making no more songs. I'm done. I'm gonna get me a job behind the scenes, and, you know, maybe I'll get a job at a label and I can fix this thing from within. So that was kind of the thinking for about the next 2 years. And then in 2000, I met my man Filthy Rich and DJ Rob, who they had the studio out in Queens. They had wanted me to be a part of this compilation record in exchange for studio time. So I went out there, met them. I did a couple of songs for them, and they were like, yo, you should do another record. I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm done with the industry. Oh, I think you got something left. Nah, I'm good. I wound up going on tour in 2000 to Europe. I did a 13-city tour. Biggest tour I had ever done over there, and didn't go over there expecting much. Every show packed. People knew the words of all my songs. I was just so surprised that there was interest in what I was doing still. I came back home. I said, Rich, Rob, fuck it. Let's do another album. And I did Disposable Arts, and that became really the album that has extended my career for going on 16 years. I think what's been critical to my success is my ability to adapt but not change. I've always evolved in terms of my writing, in terms of my song making, but I didn't go away from who I was at my core. And I think that fans have appreciated that. The other thing that I think has allowed me to flourish is over the course of my career, each album I've affected a new generation of hip-hop fans that maybe didn't know who I was on previous albums, but discovered me on this album and loved what I did on this album, and then stayed with me going forward. So now I have people at shows that range from 40-something years old to 18 years old, all at the show at my show at the same time, and it's an amazing thing. What keeps me going now really are the fans. The interaction with fans on social media, the interaction with fans at shows, it validates that I'm doing something that's good and that people like. If I felt like there was no appreciation for what I was doing, if I felt like nobody really cared about what I was doing, that the music just wasn't impacting anybody, I would have been gone a long time ago. But every time I go out and do a show somewhere, And so usually after the shows, I'll go over to the merch table to meet people, to sign autographs, take photos, whatever. And a lot of those people come up to me and they express to me what my music means to them or meant to them, or how my music impacted them at some point in their lives. And I hear stories like, yo, I was gonna kill myself, and then I heard this song and I decided that I could still do it, and just the most dramatic things that you would ever can imagine that let me know that what I was doing musically was affecting people. And that's what keeps me going. I hope that my musical legacy will be that that I entertained people with my albums, that I put out records that weren't boring, that had good concepts to them, that were different than everything else that was out. I've always tried to be a little bit against the grain of whatever was the most popular thing that cats were doing. And that I was a good lyricist, you know. You hear people giving their top 10s and their top 20s and their top 50s, and magazines doing top 100s, and my name doesn't get mentioned in those top anythings, which is a little baffling, but I accept being that underrated artist that cats overlook for whatever reason. I don't bang my chest and tell everybody that I'm the best. I just show it in what I do in my music. So I hope that that legacy is that this guy did it at a high level for a long period of time and didn't have a lot of fall off from record A to the last record. So that's all I can hope for.